of friendship. Say that with me. Friendship.
Friendship.
Leadership.
Leadership.
Integrity.
Integrity.
Diversity.
Diversity.
Service. If anybody asks you, what are the core values of Rotary, you could name them right there. Friendship, leadership, integrity, diversity, and service. This is a special meeting for us today because we have our district governor with us. Yes, she's a great woman, and you're going to hear her later. She'll be introduced later. Now, all of you take out your cell phones, those who have them. Take a selfie and post it wherever you post. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, whatever.
She always has good ones.
Got it. He's smart. He's got a timer.
Okay, I got mine. Now, all of you put your cell phone on silent or airplane mode or off or whatever so that we don't interrupt the meeting. Now, it is time for the national anthem and the pledge. Let us stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed as the twilight's last gleaming through the cross stripes and bright stars, through the perilous light? O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare of bursting in air, they cruised through the night, but our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Now for our invocation and introduction, David Jones.
Thank you, Mr. President. Let's pray together, please. Dear God, we thank you for this gorgeous day today and the privilege that we have to be here at this place, to be a Rotarian and be a part of this club. We thank you for the privilege of sharing in our community and making this a better place to live. And Lord, we just ask that our service be service that's brought with a smile and with a purpose and with the intent of helping people to become even better at whatever they are desiring to accomplish today. Bless this club, bless Rotary International, and all that we're doing around the world, and may bring people closer together, a purpose in their lives. These things we ask in Jesus. Amen. Amen. Thank you. Please be seated. We're so delighted you're here today and are looking forward to hearing from some of our guests. So if you are a visiting Rotarian today, we'd like to recognize you first. So beginning over here at the back table, do we have a visiting Rotarian at the back table here? All right. How about here in the middle table? In the back, visiting Rotarian. Okay, over here to my left in the back, visiting Rotarian. All right. Up here at the front, visiting Rotarian.
Hi, I'm Diane Kavanaugh. I'm a member of the South Highland Rotary Club, and I serve as your assistant governor.
Thank you for coming, Diane. Appreciate having you with us today. All right. Do we have a visiting Rotarian at the front desk, front table here? Okay. And then over here at our guest table. All right. Other than our district governor. All right. Any other guests with us today? Starting back in the back. Guests? In the middle, guests. On this side, guests. Over here at this table, we have a guest. All right, here in the middle, do we have a guest today? We have a guest today.
Yes, but Julia Garner is a new member.
Yes.
She's the first time visiting here since Thriving. They're a corporate membership.
Yes.
Joined them.
One of our new members. We are so glad. Yes,
David's almost a member.
Yes.
you're almost a member. You're getting close. Getting close. Close to the finish line. All right. We're glad to have you with us. Thank you for being here. And we hope and pray you have a good day today. And this is a great week. And before it's all over, we'll be able to get back together again, not next week, because why? Thanksgiving, you'll be with your families, I hope and pray. And then we'll join again the following week. So thank you for coming today. Mr. President.
Thank you, David. And Paul, as you make your way up here, I want to thank Mary Birch and Greg Polka for being greeters today. They did an exceptional job. Even got a big hug from Mary. And now for the only man that I know of that'll take over a national radio show and then interview who the radio show is about as a guest on his show, Paul Weiser.
Thank you. Thank you. Starting today, the 17th of November, 1558, Elizabeth I ascended the throne of England upon the death of her half-sister, Mary I. Elizabeth was the daughter of King Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn, whom Henry could not forgive for never having borne him a son and had executed on trumped-up charges of adultery. The English monarchs were scoundrels. You got to understand that. Elizabeth was the first undisputed female English monarch, and during her reign, she reversed Mary's efforts toward reestablishing Catholicism as the national religion of England, instead setting in motion the establishment of the Protestant Church of England, which is the official state church to this day. She encouraged the voyages of Sir Francis Drake and Sir Walter Raleigh, establishing England as a dominator of the seas. And by the end of her mostly stable 44-year reign, England was firmly established as a world power. On the 18th of November, 1883, in response to the speed at which things could move via rail and the confusion as to departure and arrival times at stations along the way, the major railroads of the United States and Canada adopted a standard that divided the North American continent into 4 standard time zones. Until then, time was determined by high noon at each specific locality. The zones were designated Eastern, Central, Mountain, Pacific, and the lines that were drawn are pretty much the same now as they were the day they were drawn. Local governments within each zone adopted the time zones almost immediately. The U.S. government didn't get into the act until 1918, finally establishing the official time zones of the United States. On the 19th, 1863, having been invited almost as an afterthought by David Wills, a Pennsylvania attorney charged by the governor to take care of the dead following the Battle of Gettysburg, Abraham Lincoln delivered a 269-word, 2-minute speech at the dedication of the Soldiers' National Cemetery in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. The speech contained the phrase, "The world will little know nor long remember what we say here." In fact, the world has little noted famous orator Edward Everett, who delivered a 2-hour speech that preceded Lincoln's 2-minute Gettysburg address. On the 20th of November, 1945, trials of 24 Germans accused of war crimes and atrocities intended to World War II began in Nuremberg, Germany. The trial continued until October 1st of 1946, when 12 of the defendants were sentenced to death. 7 received prison sentences ranging from 10 years to life, and 1 was judged mentally incompetent, and 1 committed suicide while in custody. All of the executions took place on October 16th. On Monday, the 21st of 1980, an estimated 300 people worldwide tuned into the CBS television network to at last find out who shot J.R. That question had entered the American lexicon following a cliffhanger episode of the TV series Dallas in the March 21 final episode of the previous season. Those 350 million viewers learned Who was it? You may remember.
Crosby girl.
His former mistress and the sister of his wife. No wonder the guy didn't die. That's who pulled the trigger. JR, let's go have a beer. On the 22nd of November, 1963, on a campaign through Texas that included a stop in Dallas that many in his circle strongly argued that he not make, President John F. Kennedy was shot and killed while riding in an open-top limousine in a slow-moving motorcade shortly after making a 135-degree turn from Houston Street onto Elm Street in front of what was then called the Texas School Book Depository Building. And finally, on 23rd of November, 1936, the first issue of a revamped Life magazine hit the newsstands. On the cover was a picture of the Fort Peck Dam. It was the first publication under its new look for Time magazine owner Henry Luce, who had purchased the magazine out of bankruptcy. Birthdays in the coming week, starting today: Danny DeVito, actor, turns 78. Meg Ryan turns 61 on Saturday. President Biden turns 80 on Sunday. Then look a day overnight. I'm sorry. Goldie Hawn, this is not going to sit well. Goldie Hawn turns 77 on Monday. And Jamie Lee Curtis turns 64 on Tuesday.
Thank you, Paul. Rotary business. I've got Jim Robertson up here with Ukraine, and he's going to make a short announcement. And where's Pam? Oh, there she is. Okay.
Yeah, I'm glad to tell you that the $5,000 that this club raised to support the displaced civilians in Ukraine through the Hills organization, PHA, the money is in Ukraine and it's going to those people that are very much in need. And that's a good thing for this club to do this time of year. You will remember that our goal was $10,000. So we just took a break for a few weeks, but now we're coming to the second leg of this project. And you're tired of hearing from me. You've heard plenty of what I've got to say about this. So you're going to hear from some different members of this club. And today I am pleased to present to you one of the most dynamic, persuasive of our club. I want to tell you, if I was going into a battle, I would want to be on her team.
Amen.
And that is our own past president, Pamela Walters.
Wow. Okay, thank you all very much. And for those of you, I just want to take a back step, one back step here. For those of you who contributed today and before today for Polio Plus, you cannot imagine how much that is appreciated and how far it goes. And I want to get a quick word from Kathy, who also had a sister who had Polio Plus. And a lot of you faces that I see around here are so young that I know when I say polio, you probably think I'm speaking Russian or something, but it was and has been a true disaster and tragedy on the planet. So Kathy, would you share your story very quickly?
Well, my story is really my older sister's story. When she was about a year and a half old, she got polio. And she spent her young life with multiple surgeries in full body casts and having to attend school via an intercom system and the teachers coming to tutor her at home. And I remember her high school SAT or ACT, whichever. I remember the nuns from her high school coming and giving them to her at home because that was another year that she was in a full body cast and couldn't leave. But she went on to become a Fulbright Fellow and became a physician and retired years ago because the polio made it too hard for her to actually do the work, especially when she was on crutches her whole life. And lived in Illinois, and when the place would clear out at night and she was alone and it wouldn't designate a handicap parking spot for her alone, and she'd have to go across the parking lot. She was falling a lot, and it was difficult. So she retired, and now she's very not going out in the rain or the snow.
So polio is not a thing of the past, and I know most of you have heard me say this before, but if Rotary International stops supporting polio today, to the effort to eradicate it, in 1 year there would be approximately 250,000 cases in the world, and I can promise you there would be plenty of those in America. So what little bit we do is absolutely crucial. Okay, enough about that. Ukraine. Have you all been watching the news? Does anybody watch the news, or does everybody listen to it on Paul's radio? Okay. All right. Russia has just, they've lost their minds, but anyway, everybody knew that anyway. But the little bit we can do for Ukraine is we can support them as much as we can from Tyler, Texas. And that's by finishing our $10,000 goal, which we did prior to this week, with 5,000. And now we just need to get the other 5,000. It's really important. Those people over there are dealing with children who are being tortured, raped, murdered. You all know about Kiev. You all know about the constant bombing and the horrible things that are happening to these people in their country that they so love and have been so comfortable and at home. We can't imagine that happening here. We can't imagine what it would be like to get a call that our child has been kidnapped and tortured and murdered. There's no way we can comprehend that. We have no relativity to anything like that. We go home, we have our beautiful houses, our cars, we have our clothes, we have our stuff. They are losing everything, even the most basic needs. And that's what our 5,000 contribution going to Christie, that's what their efforts support, is the most basic of needs for these people who are suffering like we will never know. And so please, I know it's Christmas and it's Thanksgiving and it's gift time and all that, but deep down in your heart, please think about these people and how they are suffering and how fortunate we are, and give them this tiny gift that we can give them to help support them. It means so much to us as Americans to be able to do good things around the world. And if you've never visited a third world country, you can't imagine how blessed we are. It's almost sickening that we have so much wealth and so much beauty here, and because we're free. So anyway, if you can today, please write another check and let's get this $5,000 donated. It's not that much. If you could everybody would chip in. So thank you very much, and have a nice lunch.
Thank you, Pam. You're going to sign up for the Christmas social. It'll be December the 8th, 6:30 to 8 o'clock at Bill and Donna Kroom's house. Once again, they're very much our gracious host. Cost us $50. Please prepay by December the 1st. And don't come next week to do that. Remember that. We need our volunteer hours for October. Please email those to Holly. Sign up for the Salvation Army bell ringing for either Dillard's or Brookshire's on Rice Road for Wednesday, December the 7th. There will be, for the third time, no meeting next week due to the Thanksgiving holidays, but there will be a meeting the next following week. So we're not completely cutting out. We're just skipping on Thanksgiving. Before we get to our speaker, I want Bill Clyde to stand up. Bill Clyde, did you hear about that dentist that had made a big contribution to the Ukraine project? And he thought he was going to get this incredible look picture and well framed and everything. But you know what he ended up with? A little plaque. Get it? You people that aren't dentists. Flat, calculus, all right. And then, Bill Clyde, do you know what they call those pictures that dentists take around your mouth? Toothpicks. The only reason I do these groaners is because Bill Clyde constantly is giving me some kind of groaner thing, and it's always on a religious theme, so I thought I would get back to him. Now, really, Bill Clyde's one of my best friends because at least 3 occasions at the church he attends, he found out that I was going to fill in and preach for that Sunday, and Bill Clyde came anyway. So anybody that comes to hear me preach is my best friend, and Bill Clyde, I appreciate that. Also, Bill is the longest standing member in our club. Not the oldest, but the longest standing member. I appreciate that you're here every week, Bill Clyde. Our club is better because of you. And now, what can you say about our president-elect?
She's very shy.
She's shy. Yeah, she's very, besides being very shy. She shines from within so that nobody can dim her light. Here's truth.
Thank you so much, Allison. Well, welcome again. I'm Trudy Williams. I'm the president-elect for the Rotary Club of Tyler, and I'm so excited to have our district governor here with us today. I think you had signed up to come at one other time, and we had to rearrange the schedule, so I was asking Holly, I was like, oh my gosh, I hope she knows she's coming. Please confirm that. We're looking forward to having her. There was a few of us that got to go to the district conference. We were talking about that a little bit in Idabel. If you ever get the opportunity to go to a district conference, it's really fun, especially whenever you can go with a few friends in the road. We learned a lot. It was a fun time. We got to see people get awards. It's fun for our club because we go there and we get a lot of awards. We got the presidential citation, so not everybody gets to get those things. And so it's really good to be able to see the leaders that are ahead that are kind of blazing the trail for people like me. So I'm really, really glad to have you here. So Carolyn Franks is a native of Pittsburgh, Texas, and a graduate of Pittsburgh High School and the University of North Texas. She's a member of the Pittsburgh, Texas Rotary Club. Currently serves on the boards of the Camp County Historical Commission, the Pittsburgh Camp County Library, and the Pittsburgh Camp County Arts Council. She received the Masonic Lodge's Community Builder Award in 2019. She was a member of the District 5830 Group Study Exchange to Tasmania in 1998. Wow, okay. She joined the Pittsburgh Rotary Club in 1998 and has served as president 2 times. She served as an assistant governor for 2 terms. She is a Paul Harris Fellow +8, a member of the Paul Harris Society, and a major donor. For the last 23 years, she has been employed as the director of the Watley Center for the Performing Arts at Northeast Texas Community College in Mount Pleasant, and has been the organist and choir director at First United Methodist Church and the organist at St. William Laud Episcopal Church in Pittsburgh. So you really don't have a whole lot going on right now. Right. Please welcome our district governor, Carolyn Franks.
It is a great pleasure to be here, and I want to thank Diane for coming with me today. We've already done one meeting here this morning, a little early, but this is a great meeting. We had a good board meeting, and I've already, through the different years, have made friends with some of you, and I've got to know more of you today and hope to continue getting to know this club better because it's such an impressive club. Just a few things that I want to say, first of all, right off the bat, that Jennifer Jones is not dead. But, with our Rotary acronyms, RIP, Rotary International President. But last year, she was right. She was Rotary International President-elect. So those two are pretty bad for the top person in Rotary, I think. But anyway, she is a wonderful person. She, to have the privilege of being first female international president, that's pretty cool. And just a little bit about me to address something like that. Many, many years ago, when I was in high school, I went to Rotary every Wednesday in Pittsburgh with our principal, and I played the piano for them to sing. So I knew all the bad Rotary songs in that book. But yeah, I never dreamed that I could be a Rotarian. It just didn't happen, you know. So then I got married and came back to Pittsburgh. My husband was a Rotarian, president of the Rotary Club. I still couldn't be a member. But when I went to on that group study exchange as a non-Rotarian to Tasmania, I knew when I came back that I was going to quit teaching school and I was going to join Rotary, and then I would see where it went from there. And it's been the best, actually now 24 years of my life, to be able to participate in everything that Rotary had been doing years since 1905. And I saw a phrase, a quote the other day that said, someone's sitting under a shade tree today because planted a tree 100 years ago. Well, it was a little bit more than that Rotary began, but just think about our Rotary, Paul Harris, our Rotary founder, and the other members of the first club, and then members of your club 100 years ago, 102 is it now or something, that those guys, you know, if the ones that have died, if they were still here today, they would go, what has happened to our Rotary Club? The thing that ever happened to it, women are in it. And now I'm thinking, I said this morning, Paul Harris is probably clicking over in his grave because he was an international woman president. Hey, it's okay. So, anyway, I'm very impressed today and I already knew some of them, but to talk to your board about all of the wonderful projects that you do and some of the things you've done, like that membership contest that you had. That was pretty cool. I'm going to take that idea to some other clubs. And this morning, someone asked me if I would, I had told them about some different club projects and things that I had learned about as just visiting the club. There's something different. And one of them was this electronic recycling thing, but she said, would you put some of the projects that other clubs are doing on the website? So don't look for it right now, but I'll be with all my club visits in a few weeks, and then I'll start paying attention to what I need to be doing for Rotary. And I will get that out there, but all of your projects are just wonderful, and I just think about and what you're doing for the Ukraine and for polio. And your enthusiasm, and Pamela, thank you for your enthusiasm for just giving and helping not only in Tyler and Smith County, but in the world. And I thank you so much. I know your club, I'm probably talking too fast here, but I know your club participated in a grant that our district did, sending money to a hospital in San Benito, Guatemala, and to help put air conditioning in where the women were giving birth at 105-degree temperature, upgrading a NICU units and things like that. And I had the privilege last month to go to that hospital in Guatemala and then visit a village where there had been no medical care for the kids. Some of them 15 years old, never seen a dentist, never had an eye exam. And we did all of those. We had dentists and ophthalmologists, pediatricians with us, and we did all these screenings. And now those kids, we've gotten videos of them with their new glasses, and of course some of them had teeth pulled. But the neat thing was to see that hospital, and on nearly every door, and on the outside, everywhere, you see big Rotary symbols, and the Rotary Club and the Rotary District 5830 did this, and we got to go into the maternity ward where it was cool, the air conditioners were working, and to tour the different parts of the hospital. So what you do and what you've helped done is just fantastic. And there's so many other things too. But I wanted to talk a little bit about, also Rotary International. Jennifer Jones chose is, her theme, every year we have a new theme. Her theme is Imagine Rotary. And my favorite part of that is that, because we can put anything after that that we can think of that would make the world a better place. But imagine, she said, you don't imagine yesterday, you imagine tomorrow. And that's what I think is so neat, because now let's look at the next 100 years, that we're going to prepare for people that are coming with us and after us to continue Rotary. So we're going to plant those trees now for the next 100 years. And I think that that's just one of the best things that we've had. And some of you may already know this, but she had an Aboriginal, Australian Aboriginal artist design this thing, because that's where our international convention is going to be in Melbourne in the end of May. But the circle, the purple circle, represents the connectivity of all about 1.4 million Rotarians all around the world. The 7 dots are the 7 areas of focus, maternal and child health, economic development, education, peace building, our newest one, the environment. And then the green stick is an Australian digging stick that stands for hard work. The purple color represents polio. The white background stands for peace. And then the green is for our newest area of focus, the environment. So I think that it's a beautiful thing. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. We've talked, but I had to make goals. And some of these are already passed. Some of them have probably changed, but we talked about doing a club visioning, and I hope that that's something your club will do, and bring your new members in and with their ideas, and start thinking about this next 5 years and then going on, what's going to happen past that. So hopefully you'll do that, and you have a really good social media presence, so just keep that going. Again, your giving is really good. I'm hoping that every club maybe give per capita at least $125, with $100 being to the foundation and $25 to polio. I think y'all are going to probably surpass that, so maybe you'll be a $250 club. They're asking by 2024 for everything we do to have the correct Rotary logo, and to engage, retain, and increase your membership by 2. It's great to get new people in the club, and we're glad to have you, but we want to keep you. So how do we keep people? We make sure they're working at a project that they enjoy, and that we keep them busy and retain, and then they're going to want to stay. And I understand y'all are kind of in a competition with the Longview Club over membership, and I don't think they know that, so.
Don't tell me.
Fair to all concerned, Bill, I probably don't have to tell.
Well, everybody here.
And definitely don't give them our membership drive.
Oh. So now that's, what do I do? And then some of these other things are the things that Jennifer Jones has asked us to do, because her big thing this year is especially empowering girls and women. And a lot of clubs have projects. I think that, when you do RALA and give scholarships, you're empowering girls. To me, that's just a part of that too. And Trudy, I think it was Trudy was talking now about the district conference. We had such a good time. And next year, it's going to be in Athens in October again at the Texas Freshwater Fisheries. So I hope that a lot of members from your club will come, and imagine Trudy's going to get a group to come, because we'll have a really good time. So anyway, there's other things that'll be coming up, and hopefully you'll participate in them. And this was, when we did this a few weeks ago, it was wrong, and we just discovered that y'all have 112 members, with one more about to be in. So so you're the second largest club in the district.
Woo!
Who's the largest?
Longview.
That's what we're giving them.
Pamela, how many did they have?
121.
120. Oh, yeah, Diane looked at it. 121. So get busy.
What day is it?
Tuesday. Okay, so these are just some things that looking at that, y'all doing, moving forward on it. But like, for instance, the citation, you've already met some of the goals. You know, RALA, the Salvation Army, all of these things that you do mean so much. And your club is great. Look at all this. I just learned about Camp V. I really did not know anything about it. And that's what you do there is very impressive. And I look forward to hearing more about all of that. And I know together, I love it that the clubs are working together for the Christmas parade and that sort of thing. That is really a neat thing. The only other place that, to me, that happens much is Texas County has 4 clubs. Oh wait, I need to see, one of them may be, and I'm gonna get this contest going, one of them might be. But they all do a public safety officer award luncheon, and they've been doing it for 43 years working together. So things like that I think mean a lot. I said something in the board meeting that our club, because in Pittsburgh, Texas, there's only one Rotary club, that we work with Kiwanis and Lions to put on a veterans event. And I said, you know, they're all wannabe Rotarians, but we're glad that. And just, I just think we talked about some of the things that you all participate in, and there's so much need, and you're trying to meet just about all of it, I think. And so, and of course, RILA is, if you've ever taken kids or picked them up, especially picked them up, you know what RILA does for our youth. And then when they come and speak to your club, it's just amazing the difference that they've made. And going back to that 100-year thing, in the musical Hamilton, his wife started the first private orphanage in New York City, and her character sings a song at the end. Some of you've seen it. Sings a song at the end, and the lyrics are, "When my time is up, will I have done enough? Who will tell my story?" And I've stolen those lines, and I've changed it to say, "When our time is up, will we have done enough? Who will tell our story?" And that's where public image comes in. That's where having membership events and bringing in not necessarily younger members, but at least more members that are going to reach more people. And after some of us my age are gone, then they're going to be the leaders and bringing in more people. And our story is going to be told. Even in the little town of Pittsburgh, Texas, in the last few years, I've had people come up to me that I'm on a board with and say, "What does Rotary do?" And I think, well, we have fallen down on our job in Pittsburgh, Texas, if someone there doesn't know what Rotary does. Because we're very active, but I think, again, we have got to tell our story. And that's one of the most important things that we have learned this year and heard from Jennifer Jones, that our public image is so important. Not to make us look good, but to make people want to do good and do what we to serve, because as we know, our motto is service above self. And I think that when we get into doing all that we will have been successful in telling our story. And this is going to be the shortest meeting I've had in a long time. But again, I think our Rotary vision statement tells it all. Together, we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. You know, you participate in and see a child or a student or someone who's hungry, and you see them get help and change, you change in yourself too. And I think that's one of the most important things. And I am so happy that I'm a Rotarian, and I'm so happy to be here as your district governor. And I hope you'll invite me back for something so I can help you do some other things and participate. So that's all I have, Allison.
Carolyn, we are making a donation of $250 to the Rotary International Foundation in your name and to the Polio Plus Fund.
Thank you.
Very good. Great program. Well, I've told you before that our mission at Rotary is to provide service, to promote integrity, and to advance world understanding, peace, and goodwill. But after we had the meeting with Carolyn, and I understood what our membership figure was versus Longview, I've proposed that we have a new mission statement. Here's 2 words: beat Longview. All right, it's time now for the Ace of Spades, Ace of Diamonds. Whoa. Remember that the drawing is half for the club, half for the person who draws the winning ticket. If the winner's a Rotary guest, the guest receives a quarter of that. Their sponsor receives a quarter, and then the club still receives a half. How much do we have in the till?
897 pesos.
$897, and our district governor will pick the number.
Remind everybody, we have a board meeting tomorrow. The board meeting tomorrow.
1510 or the last 3 on this one.
510.
510. Here's your chance. Yeah, we trust you. We just want to know if this is the truth. Did you really get? Oh, man. I want you to see the incredible gift that your district governor is giving you and that I'm giving you. Remember, those of you on the board, tomorrow at noon is the board meeting over where Jennifer Dobbins is. The name that starts with an A. Yeah, that's it. We're going to meet over there. Everybody's welcome to come meet there at 11:30 with your sack lunch. You're getting 20 minutes out early, and you can go out and earn some more money. How about that? Let us all stand to talk about the things we think do according to the Rotary principles. First,
Is it the truth?
second,
Is it fair to all concerned?
third,
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
fourth.
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
We are adjourned.
Thank you.
Well,